What's going on? So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to properly automate your comments in DMs, both on Facebook and Instagram, using the power of GoHighLevel to set up all these triggers and workflows in the back end so that we're successfully able to output that piece of information or lead magnet that you're looking to distribute completely hands-free. So this is a complete beginner's guide. So I just wanted to give some context on what I'm talking about in the use case for this. So to give an example, let's say I have a comment CTA to comment funnel and I have all these leads commenting. Typically on Instagram and Facebook, people will do these DM and comment call to actions in order to distribute some free information or send out some sort of lead magnet with the purpose of generating a lead. So I'm going to show you how you can successfully automate this and not have to pick up the phone and manually send that asset each time a new person actually engages. So following along in this example, if someone comments funnel, then I have an automation set up in the backend to automatically send that piece of value. So in this example, they get prompted with a question and then there's a button, yes, send it over. And once they press yes, send it over, it automatically makes them send that text over. Like they literally just click the button and then yes, send it over appears. And then that sets up our trigger in which we send over the lead magnet. In this example, it's a landing page and we're able to do information capture. Highly recommend doing information capture when you're setting up a landing page. I kind of view information capture as the transaction that's taking place for that free information. So it technically becomes not free, but the barrier of entry to get the information is still so low, and you get the benefit of building a great email list or contact list to reach out to these leads at a later date. And I'm also going to be showing you how to do these auto replies. If you see people that have hundreds and hundreds of replies on the comments from these lead magnets, I bet you they did not do it themselves. They have an automation set up for that as well. And you can even see I've got diversified comments. So it's not the same one getting sent each time. That kind of masks the fact that it is an automation and helps to build that illusion. And if you stay to the end of the video, I'm actually going to take it a step further and show you how I was able to automate my entire DMs, not just the beginning process, but all these conversations you're seeing here are live conversations I have integrated with an AI appointment setter that's able to book sales calls for my clients. All right, so once you're in your GoHighLevel account, you're just going to click over to automation, and then we're going to create a new workflow, start from scratch. Now, everything that we're going to be building today is within this one workflow. It's quite simple and straightforward. To start off, let's change the name of this workflow just so we don't lose it. All right, once you get your naming convention, let's go ahead and add our two triggers. So the first one will be customer replied. And once you do customer replied, you have to do add filters. And then just follow along with me here, reply channel, and we're going to do Instagram DM. That being said, I said earlier we can also do this on Facebook. The difference is you would do Facebook Messenger. But again, here we're doing Instagram. So Instagram, and it doesn't end there. We also need to do the trigger word. So there's two ways we can go about this. If you have an awfully specific trigger word, then I would suggest doing contains phrase. And when I say oddly specific, I mean something that really wouldn't come up in normal conversation. Otherwise, what's going to happen if it's something general? For instance, let's say your trigger word is yes. So obviously the word yes is going to come up frequently in conversations. And so you're accidentally going to trigger the automation to take place, and it's going to be out of scope of the DMs. So what I recommend to get around this is instead of doing contains phrase, you do exact match. So now someone has to explicitly say yes with nothing else in the text, and then it sends over. Now, just in general, I usually wouldn't recommend yes as a trigger word just because it is extremely universal. But let's say you're a fitness coach. Literally, the trigger word fitness is fine here, right? It can literally be anything you can think of. But honestly, for most use cases, I recommend going with exact match. And note, it's also case sensitive. So in your head, kind of think of any lead that even may misspell the word. If there's a common misspelling for a word, I really suggest adding it here to make sure you get all bases covered. So for this example, I'm going to use the comment word thrive, and I'm going to show you how I set it up. First off, obviously, we're going to go with the normal way to spell it. Then we're going to do the lowercase version, and then we got to do the entire uppercase version. Now, sometimes people even do like thrive period or something like that, in which, so now a user has to explicitly send this to me and no other text within the one message. So, you can kind of see how you got to play around with it. And, because thrive is awfully specific, the odds of someone texting me thrive out of scope are pretty low. So if I were to open query for this thrive. So now that this is an open query, basically if someone says thrive and adds some emojis, or if they're like, hey, love the content, I saw your lead magnet, and then they write the word thrive, which some people do if they just don't know any better, then this will pick that up. So choice is yours. I just laid out both for you. All right, cool. So our trigger is set up, so we can go ahead and click save, but we're not done yet because we have to set up a comment trigger too, because this is just exclusively scanning for DMs right now. So let's go set up comments. So literally just type in the word comment And just like I told you guys before, you would click the Facebook one, obviously, if you're soliciting something on Facebook. For this example, we're using Insta. Select your corresponding page that you've got linked. And so here's the thing, guys. Oftentimes people think you have to put publish post here and actually go and select it, but that's not the case. You can actually delete this. So what this does is this will now become a universal comment CTA, meaning if I have Thrive here, I can continue to recycle the word Thrive and it'll keep distributing that same automation lead magnet, right? But if you want it specific to an exact post, then you would do post is, and you're able to see the description from the post and the date. So let's say I set this. Now the comment trigger will be exclusive just to this post. So what I often recommend my clients to do is have a few universally set triggers so we can recycle them so we don't have to manually keep adding new automations just to get our point across or just to re-deliver the same old lead magnet or YouTube video that we're trying to show people. So in my opinion, as long as it's a universal lead magnet, then go ahead and open query it. But if it is oddly specific to a post, then of course you can add the factor there. So outside of that, just like last time, guys, we have the contains phrase or the exact match. For this example, I'm going to stick to exact match. And I just like to add the different variations in there. Thrive, thrive, thrive. And then save trigger. And then I religiously like to click save up here just in case work gets lost, especially sometimes when GoHighLevel will decide it wants to lose connection. This is a pretty simple one, but sometimes some of these builds will take hours to do. And if you lose everything, it's just frustrating. All right, so now we have the trigger set up. We need to decide what we're going to do with it. So if you're anything like me, numbers are everything and we have to get data to track. So what I like to do is immediately add a contact tag to every new contact that comes through this trigger so I know the traffic and where they came from. So for this example, I'm going to create a new tag in case you guys have never created a tag before. But if you have tags, of course, they'll appear here and you can comment them. But you can also literally just type one on the spot and then click add new tag and it'll create it for you right there. Bam. So now anyone that DMs or comments the trigger word up to this point, guys, they will all receive this contact tag. So in our contact section, we're able to organize everyone, know where they came from, see what lead magnets have been distributed. And it's a really good way, especially when you're at scale and have hundreds or thousands of different contacts in here. It's a really good way to organize things. So this is where we're going to get a little fancy, but this step is important so we're able to send over that comment reply that I was telling you guys about. So what we're going to do is set up an if-else statement, and then this first one will be for people that DM. So you're going to click workflow trigger is customer replied, and this is our DM route, save action. So this will be for the DMers, and then subsequently this none becomes for our commenters. For the DMers, we're going to go ahead and add our Instagram DM, and it's right here. Bam, Instagram DM. So here's where you'll add your copy, and you can get creative with this, meaning you can also segment them out in different bubbles. So one Instagram node that you see here will denote a second bubble. So as you can see now, if someone DMs us the word Thrive, they'll say, hey, here's that lead magnet, second bubble. Or, what I sometimes do is just put link here, so differentiate the bubbles. But going over to our comment section of things, we need to set up a comment reply. So how we do that, reply in comments. And then here we manually add the replies that you want to send. So, and anytime you want to add a new one, you just click this add new response button here and you can get creative with how many you want to add. I think the maximum is like 9 or 10 before it caps you out. And then you can also just flip the switch if you want to like the comments as well. And how GoHighLevel operates, it'll run through these randomly. So sometimes you may get a duplicate here and there, but the idea is that it runs through it randomly, so it overall differentiates them. And then to save us a bit of time, click copy and click copy all actions from here, copy here, and we are able to translate that over. So what we just built here is a successful DM and comment trigger, and any lead that comes through here will now have the example tag so we can reach out to them at a later date. And then we also have an if-else differentiating DMers from commenters, so we're able to send that just DM'd you comment reply. Now, just to take things a step further, if you want to do a follow-up sequence later on, we already have them as a contact flow now. So what you could even do is set up a wait stage for them to reply. So we're going to check for contact to reply to our above Instagram DM. Here, let me name this so we're able to see which one it is. So wait, contact reply, and we'll set a timeout as well. So Instagram reply to, and let's wait 23 hours. So if they don't reply to us in the next day, then we send them a follow-up. So all right, and then if they do reply, then we'll do something like this. add to workflow. And what we can do if we add them to a workflow, we can set them up in any of your other nodes you have. So if there's a different sequence of replies you want to stream them through, now that they have the lead magnet to try to sell them, or if you're like me and you integrate an AI appointment setter, then this is where you'd pitch things off to the AI and actually get them to book in the sales call. Or another route you can actually go about things, if you go over to your pipeline section, this is just an example pipeline. So let's say we want to throw people into a particular pipeline so we can reach out to them. Honestly, we can even do it here with the follow-up lead as well. So let's go back to our automations tab we just built with our lead magnet that we're looking to distribute. And so we can create an opportunity. It's create or update an opportunity, but this is how you can manipulate your pipelines. I think it was inbound leads. So follow up with lead. So now if there's a timeout that takes place, we know that we followed up with the lead and they received that follow up. And then separately, we could also add an opportunity here just to organize things and be like, okay, and for this lead, I didn't build out this pipeline specifically for this, but let's say the lead replied. So we'd add them to the lead replied pipeline, save action. And then we know we need to reach out to that guy because he actually hit us back, or you have a setter doing this. So let me just speak also in terms of if you have an appointment setter. So what this would act to do then, so these are the leads that have been followed up that still hadn't replied, and these are the leads that hit you back, actually followed up and replied. So what you can actually set up, I just put second text bubble here. But what I often recommend is to ask a leading question to try to invoke a reply and spark the conversation. So what I mean by that, instead of just saying freaking link here, you'd be like, what are your current goals for 2025? Or, hey, what are you looking to achieve? Or why do you reach out? If and when they reply, you know your green light to chop it up in conversation with them. Forgot to do it here before, but click copy all actions from here, bam, and now it's set up on both ends. So any lead that comes through here, whether it's through a comment or through a DM, they'll act the same. Oh, look, it said error. So it said error because we now have to attribute this wait stage to the above Instagram DM. It was confused at first because when you do a reply wait stage, it has to be attributed to the Instagram DM node right above it. So here, look, let me show you. Let me just put 22 so you know that it's different. Save, and then see 22, boom, and now this will give us a successful save. Awesome. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys a live look into how the pipeline system can actually work. So kind of like how I was showing you guys, after they actually reply, you can pitch them off into an opportunity section. So what my company specializes in is integrating AI appointment setters into the DM that have seamless integrations with GoHighLevel. So we're actually able to track a lead's life cycle as they get pushed through our attempt to appointment send them onto a booked call. So as you can see here, we're able to track anyone that's currently actively talking to the AI. I even did some troubleshooting myself, and so you can see my user contact there. And then any lead that had received the booking link gets put into this section, and that's because we have a differentiator of follow-ups. Anyone that's in the booking link sent pipeline gets hit with a lot more serious follow-ups. And then these are people that had recently got booked. And then after the sales call, we moved them out of the appointment booked pipeline and either into the lead closed section or the lead not closed. And I set this one up specifically around Christmas time because we had a lot of leads that were just interested at a later date but didn't want to get on a sales call yet. So we have this bank for the setter to reach out to at a later date. So this is kind of how, from a sales pipeline perspective, you can frame your GoHighLevel account to complement any lead magnet triggers that take place. And I don't at all mean to overwhelm you by any means. This is really just to show you a live example of how a successful sales fulfillment pipeline can be set up. And it's really not as complicated as some people make it out to be. And there's so much benefit behind this regarding having actual KPIs to measure, see where the leads are coming from, especially with the contact tags I was telling you about. All these leads are coming from different streams. Some are coming from ads, some are coming from organic content. So having those tags really helps differentiate and let us understand where our biggest successes are and where we need to focus more on so we can get more lead inflow from that corresponding stream. But yeah, guys, that's all for me. I hope you found this video helpful. I will be continuing to post more GoHighLevel and meta ads content in the future, so please subscribe if you want to see some more of that. And additionally, if you want to see how this AI appointment setter works in your DMs and can successfully book people onto sales calls completely hands-free, I'm going to leave the link to my AI appointment setter video at the very end of this clip, so make sure to check that out and see how this can take you to the next level with strategy.